They said getting started was the hardest part, but no one told you how hard it is to scale a custom service business. It's time for your team to step up, but your clients want you. Discover how to scale to 7 figures and beyond by freeing up time and getting your team to run whole parts of the company so you can focus on scaling profits. This is the Hands-Off CEO with Mandy Ellefson.
Hello, Mandy Ellefson here. I am host of the Hands-Off CEO podcast, and today we have a really great episode for you. I am going to be talking about innovation and being better and how it impacts profits and business valuation. I'm going to be sharing some case studies for how we've been seeing this impacting our hands-off CEOs, and also give you a step-by-step formula for how you can innovate in your business so that you can dramatically increase profits, and also how that impacts business valuation over time. If you have a goal of being able to exit your business at some point. So we can talk a little bit more about business valuation and all that. And maybe we'll do that in another episode. But I want to talk about this concept of being better. So, when I ask people, I ask business owners and CEOs, do you want to be disruptive in your market? Do you really want to own and dominate your market? And everyone says, yes, like this enthusiastic yes. But very few are willing to do what it takes to actually be able to get there. And the reason why is it takes a lot of courage, and it takes being willing to do things that other people are not willing to do in order to get the kind of results that they'll never be able to have because they're too scared, and they are so scared of leaving the status quo that has gotten to them to where they're at. They have to give up their current reality in order to create something much, much better. And yes, there's this transition that happens. And, I understand personally too, that this can be kind of scary, right? And I think this is exactly why you need mentorship. And I'm not even saying that Hands-Off CEO is your mentorship, but when you're really making this shift, it requires outside perspective. And otherwise, you can just be innovating in a direction that is not actually adding value to the market and isn't going to add profits to your business. So anyway, with that, the way to increase your profits and attract better team and attract higher paying clients is that you really have to be better. You have to be better, and it starts with you as the leader and looking at setting new minimum standards in your business and in your life as well, right? That's one of the things that we've discovered. One of our hands-off CEOs at our retreat said that, as he was looking at really up-leveling his business, he realized that he needed to up-level the relationships, the people he had around him. And that's actually one of the reasons why people join our tribe, is because it gives them the opportunity to be around people who are already at the level that they want to be at. So looking at minimum standards in your business is that, what are the minimum type of clients that you're going to be working with? What's the minimum standard there for your clients? And what's the minimum standard for the results that you'll provide in your business? And, looking at your very best case studies, now, how could you make that be the new standard? How could you raise the bar and make your very best case studies happen every single time? And if you knew that your very best work could be delivered 100% of the time, how much could you charge for your fees? What we've seen is that our clients are able to at least double their fees if they're able to have such a compelling offer and be able to back it up and deliver it every time. And we've seen that from everywhere from a 50% increase to being able to a 10x increase. And I'll share the case study for that today, actually. So another piece of the minimum standard in your business is the people you employ. So who is going to be on your team? What do they need to have in place already as values and as skill sets and mindsets in order for them to really be successful on your team? And being willing to let go of the people who are not at that standard. Now, that can be a little bit scary. I get that. And some of the people that we are going to be showcasing here today actually have had to do that and have seen massive increases in their profits as a result of that. So all of this comes down to how you are showing up as a leader. So understanding that this is 100% your responsibility as the leader to shift. It's not the responsibility of that certain member on your team to shape up, or just the environment in general needs to change in your business. And it doesn't happen from it doesn't happen on its own. It happens because someone makes it happen, and that person who makes it happen is you. So I want to share a few case studies here of how you can be better and profit greatly from it. So Madeline Silva, she within within 9 weeks or so in the program, she was really, really a fast action taker. And that's one of the things I love about Madeline. And she was able to go from her offer being $30,000 to $300,000. And I'm not just saying she just increased her fees and hopefully she made a sale. No, she made a sale went from 30,000 to 300,000. And the reason why was because she really set a new commitment to being better. Now, she was already really amazing, but it was really hidden, and her prospective clients couldn't actually see the true value that she could provide. So Madeline guarantees to add at least 6 figures of new profit to healthcare practices, and that's on the low end. And she guarantees that, she stands by it, and part of this net fee, part of the fee is actually from net profits. So she was able to command a much higher fee, also a lot higher cash fee as well. But that's what allowed her to go from $30,000 to $300,000 in the services that she provides. And that's just an example of when you're willing to be better, stand by your results, and really just look at what is the biggest outcome that we can create for clients, and what do those clients look like, and then where are we going to find these type of clients, instead of just waiting for them to come to us and then really being limited in our scope of what we can truly offer from the market. So another example. And this is going to be an anonymous example because things around exits and valuations tend to be better to be anonymous, because as they're selling the company, they don't want these numbers to be out there, because they can be used as leverage in the negotiating process. So about a year ago, this man was given an offer to have someone buy his company. And he was at a place where he was really considering it because he was stressed out. He was working way too many hours, and things just were not working in his business the way that he wanted to. And what that looked like is, a chunk of their clients weren't actually bringing profit into the business, but they were bringing the cash flow to support people. And it was just really kind of a stressful time for him. And he was making a decision: do I overhaul this business and there's this risk that it doesn't work out, or do I sell the business? Now it's just good riddance, be done with it. And there had been a lot of ups and downs in his business, even though he had gotten it into in the 7-figure range, but there was a lot of ups and downs. And if you looked at the past, you could say, hey, well, it's just going to be more ups and downs. But what he decided to do instead was to go full all in with our hands-off CEO Scale to Freedom program. And what he experienced now is, just recently he shared that his business valuation of what he would have been offered a year ago has it's added millions of dollars to the valuation. And a big reason why that is because how we've innovated the profit streams in their business and how we have looked at what are their most profitable clients, how do we add more of that, and doing some painful culling and cutting out clients that weren't profitable and renegotiating contracts so that clients can be profitable. But that also an important piece of this is making sure each one of those clients are getting the value that would make sense for increases in fees. So these are all the things that we've been looking at. And here's the thing: is that when you are looking at innovating your the profit in your business and innovating how your business runs so that it can just generally work a lot better, you can think that it's going to take a lot of time. And one of the things that he remarked was that it actually took a lot less time than he thought it would. And what it looks like now is a year later, he's really sitting in the director's seat. And his time mostly goes to coaching people and looking at ways to increase profits and looking at ways to continue to innovate the service. But he's doing that with his team. And before, he was really driving a lot of it, even though he had a good team. Some of them had to be filtered out, but I really want to acknowledge this CEO too, because how this all happened was because of his leadership and his courage. And we gave them the systems to do it and the support and the feedback all the way through. But this doesn't happen unless the CEO has the courage to actually step up and do this. And very few are willing to. So, doing this has added, hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit to the CEO's business. And now they have a valuation that's millions of dollars more. And I'm so proud of it. I'm so excited to see that. I'm going to give you another example of a business exit valuation. We don't talk about business exits all that often on with Hands Off CEO, and the reason why is because while it's really a key piece behind the scenes that happens over time, most of our clients don't join Scale to Freedom because they want to be able to sell their business. They actually want to be able to make more income and work less. And you can do that without actually selling your business. And that's, having a cash cow business is really the most lucrative way to go along with it. But I'll give you an example of Randy. And he actually did want to sell his company. And his company is more in the manufacturing space and kind of that mixed with a service. So it's service and manufacturing where they would be delivering pallets to their clients. And the business really could not be sold when we first worked together. It was so dependent on Randy, and there was just no way for them to really grow without Randy working more and more hours. That's really the reason why we got connected through a mutual friend. And the business was just at this dead end, and really he wanted to be able to sell it and move on with another business that he had started. So there was a couple of things that needed to happen for the business to be more sellable. And the first thing that had to happen is that the business had to actually be able to run without Randy. So we had to break down what are the pieces that Randy is involved in, why, and what are the missing skill sets in order for the business to actually run without Randy. And part of that's processes, part of that's innovating ways that things are being done so that it can be done in less time, which will free up the profit to actually be able to hire people to do that work. And in his case, he didn't actually have to hire many more people to replace him, but it was really more about him just optimizing his team and making it work better. And the profits that came out of us streamlining the workflows in his business for his service was an extra $120,000 of profit a year. And with that combined with him being out of the business, it made it a very sellable asset. And he was able to sell his business within about 2 years. And that's a very fast time to sell your business too, by the way. And what I don't know the exact dollar amount because we weren't clients at the time when he sold it. But what he did share with me is that the business sold for more than he dreamed it was possible. And I'm really excited for Randy. And what this has done for him is him stepping out of this business has allowed him to focus his time more on another business that's even more lucrative and profitable. So, and this is just really an example of how when you do the hard work up front, when you do it, and I'm not going to say this is easy to do, it takes a lot of focus and concentration to actually do this right, to be able to scale your company in a way where profits increase. And for Randy's company, after he sold it even, it's the ongoing value from the work that he did is going on for years and years. So, and this is one of the things that we see with our clients ongoing is that, I mean, even years after they worked with us, they see these benefits go on and on. So, let's talk about how you can be better in your company. So, it really starts with this culture of being better and you leading this culture. And being a better leader and looking and evaluating yourself for how you can continually show up at the level where you want your company to grow to. So, but being better is not just about more. It's oftentimes about doing less and doing it a lot more impactfully. Having more impactful results for clients, but more focused, less market. You're serving less of the market, but you're really clear on which areas you're going to be really maximizing and disrupting. And it's about offering less services, not more. And there are examples where there's some exceptions to the rule when you're really going deep and into a niche and maybe you're doing you're partnering with other providers. Or there are times where having multiple services really does make a lot of sense. But for the most part, we see more profit increases by doing less services, not more. And it's about going deeper, deeper, deeper. And that's how you innovate. And like I was saying, it starts with you. And it starts as the leader. And being a hands-off CEO is about 100% responsibility as the leader, letting go and delegating ownership. So I want to say that again. So being a hands-off CEO is about 100% responsibility as a leader and letting go and delegating ownership. And it's the key to making more as you work less. But as mentioned, this comes at a cost. It comes with your willingness to be better, to be courageous, and to go where others are too scared to go so that you can create the increased profits and the amazing lifestyle that very few will have. This is Mandy Ellefson with the Hands Off CEO podcast. If you would like to see these type of results in your business, go on over to handsoffceo.com. Take a look at the kind of work that we do and who we do it for. And if it looks like a fit, go on over to click one of the apply buttons and you can have a scalable growth diagnostic session with me. And we'll evaluate what kind of opportunities are in your business to increase profits and to really disrupt your market as you make more and work less. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Hands Off CEO with Mandy Ellefson. If you want to work less and make more, make sure you subscribe and get a new episode every week, and help spread the word by leaving a review.